There were a couple of things that I realized about you today that I didn't know before, which is that you lived on Vashon Island.
I did.
My wife is from Seattle.
Oh, she is?
Yes. And so I have wandered those islands and spent time on Vashon. And that's and also Portland.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very special, specific part of the country.
Yes, it's very Pacific Northwest. My parents were hippies. My mom's an herbalist. We went fishing for salmon on the island for dinner. And then we moved to outside. You say Portland, which is that was the big city 20 minutes away. We lived in Tigard, Oregon. And if you were hungry, you went outside and grabbed some whatever was ripe. Washed it off with the hose. We were very, it was just the four of us living off the land.
When I met my wife, she had moved to New York. And she'd grown up in Seattle, and she'd only been in New York a short time. And we start dating, and then I'm going to, we're invited to an event. I'm doing the late night show, and I invite this new woman I've met who I'm in love with. I'm going to bring her to this event, and she would say, "Okay, let's go," and she only had fleece. And she'd be like,
right.
I've got this.
Patagonia.
I've got this.
My Timberland boots.
I can put on this nicer fleece. And I'm like, it's kind of black tie. I'm wearing a tux. And she's like,
I've got sandals.
Yeah, I can put on the good sandals. And there was a moment where I was like, we need to
gonna work?
We need to talk about the fleece only. Not everything's a fleece vest and a baseball cap.
Yeah, that's right.
But the other thing too was, I would say I'm Irish Catholic Boston, so everything for me, and Sona's witnessed this many times, which is I need to eat a massive ham sandwich. I've tried to change. I think I have changed, but my go-to is always a meal involves a massive piece of ham
meat
and potato,
yes,
and mayonnaise, and it has to be this big thing that you then sit around and digest like a bank vault in your stomach.
Yeah, that was Rob too.
Yeah,
I retrained him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my wife, I'd show up at the time, she was my girlfriend, and I would show up at her tiny apartment, and I would say, "Hey,
I brought a ham,"
and I'd say I'd say I'm wearing a ham. I had a hat that was made that just had hams around it. I would show up at her apartment and say hey Eliza, I'm really hungry. Are you hungry? And she'd say, I ate. And I'd say, oh, you ate? And she'd be like, yep. I had half a pear. And then I had some walnuts, and then I had some antioxidant juice.
Oh yeah,
and
I gotta meet this lady.
Pacific Northwest.
I bet her gut health is just top shelf.
Yeah.
Well, she's a massive fan of yours, so she would be thrilled that to meet you someday. But anyway, she did. So you say that you had to retrain Rob.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was just all, first of all, I don't know that fresh vegetables existed on the East. I think it was just all cans and frozen stuff, apparently.
I never saw a vegetable, I think, until after Reagan was in office.
Right. I didn't believe him. I was like, that's not possible. Like but no, it was all, they had lima beans and steak and always a potato of some kind.
Yes.
God forbid you leave the potato out. Meat, a potato, and some bagged rewarmed vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so how long did it take to retrain Rob?
Not long, because I love cooking. And he was like, oh, what's this? Oh, and one time I asked if he liked eggplant, because I was going to do an eggplant parmesan. He was like, I was going to do some eggplant thing that wasn't eggplant parmesan. And I just ruined the whole story. And he was like, yeah, I love eggplant. I was like, great. So I made, I don't remember what it was. We were still dating. It was 800 years ago.
Yeah, it was before the printing press.
Yeah, that's right. And he ate it, and he just wasn't eating it. I was like, what? You don't like eggplant? He was like, I swear this is not what eggplant tasted like when I was growing up. And he had eggplant parmesan. It was beaten to a pulp and just mostly fried breading.
Yes, it's breading and cheese.
Yeah, I was like, that's not the eggplant part.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the heart attack part.
If you hit a vegetable in heart attack sauce, I was fine with it.
Everyone is, yeah.
Everyone is. But it's just...
Now he loves a fresh vegetable, I will say.
Oh, and I've completely changed.
Yeah.
It's the same. I mean, this is interesting. I wanted to talk about this initially just for a second because I realized we've had a similar experience. But I had the same thing happen to me, which is now I'm like, I would like a salad, please.
You're opposite.
Yeah.
Him too. He's like, he'll look at what his friends back east eat, and he's just like, how are they not all dead? And why are they wondering why I look good and they don't?
Right.
They all look like 75-year-old men. Doughy. I love them. I want to make that clear. I love all of them.
Did you hear her talking shit about us?
They won't be surprised.